Curious about all things paranormal? Well, you're in for a treat. Every week we dig up the top 3 craziest stories and mysteries from our Facebook group.
That's right. So grab yourself a drink, relax, and get ready to dive into the supernatural with us. Welcome to Top Paranormal Stories of the Week, episode 13.
But before we dive on into our first submission, let's take a quick look back at some of the highlights from last week's content.
So last week on Beyond the Hub podcast, we dove into some seriously mind-boggling cases. We started with Lars Mittank, the German tourist who vanished from Varna Airport in Bulgaria under very strange circumstances. Then we took a look at Brandon Swanson, of no relation, I'm not related, I promise, who disappeared in Minnesota after his car got stuck in a ditch, leaving us with that chilling last phone call. Definitely check that one out. And finally, we explored the mystery of Emanuela Orlandi, the Vatican City teenager whose disappearance sparked countless conspiracy theories involving the Vatican, organized crime, and more. In each episode, we dove deeper and deeper into these unsolved cases, leaving everyone watching with more questions than answers.
It was really good. I implore you to check that out. But now that's out of the way, thank you all for tuning in to Beyond the Hub podcast. I'm Nick.
And I'm Brandon. We are ecstatic to have you join us for today's 30-minute live stream.
So let's jump into our first pick of the day. Is Brandon, you want to welcome
while you're grabbing that up, I'm going to welcome everybody in the chat here. Kevin, nice to see you again. Dolores, hi.
Hey.
Nice to see you again. Phoebe, it's been a little bit. Excited that you're here with us.
Yeah.
And Leanne, of course.
Leanne.
All of our regulars tuning in. We're excited that you're here with us today.
So let's jump in. We got over 150,000 people in this group now. What the heck?
That's a milestone.
What the heck? This one's Kevin. You might know this guy. This story is from Sean Smith. Okay, he was debating on writing this one, but I have to write it. My dad recently passed away in October 2023. I'm so sorry to hear that.
My condolences, sir.
He was a musician. He could literally play any stringed instrument as well as the harmonica. He has a very large guitar collection. I inherited the collection, except for one that my dad gave to my brother. They are all still in his music room, exactly as he left them. I play the guitar as well, and my dad was pleased his grandson Jacob and Sean started to play as well. Mm-hmm. Since my dad passed away, I've been pretty depressed and haven't picked up a guitar since he passed away. A few days ago, I was listening to some Johnny Cash, and I got the feeling back where I wanted to play again. My son Jake brought me my guitar, and it was out of tune. As I was tuning it, I tuned by ear. When I got close to perfect pitch, I started strumming. As I was strumming, getting my fingers limber, I heard the pitch change to a higher note. So the keys, which tighten or loosen the string, started to move. What? Now, if the keys started to move right instead of left, I could explain it as a bad key and move on. But the keys moved in the direction to tighten them, and that's absolutely impossible. The guitar tuned itself, perfect pitch. It had to be my dad. He was reminding me to keep playing. There is no other explanation. I told my brother Kevin earlier today, looks like I'll be playing again. Thanks for letting me share this story.
Wow, that is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome to hear. First of all, I had no idea you played instruments. That's awesome playing the guitar. I play the drums. I haven't in quite a few years. I don't have the space for a drum set anymore, but it was the one instrument that I really, really just, it came to me naturally. I really loved to play it. But I did dabble with guitar, so I'm familiar with the tuning aspect of the guitar.
Yeah.
So, like, I can understand, like, how he said if he was playing to try to get it in tune, checking the tune, it's possible to loosen, not tighten.
Yeah.
The tighten way you have to do intentionally. So that's crazy that it seems like your dad helped you tune your guitar up. So, I mean, man, that's
a cool story.
That's touching. That's really touching. I'm excited to hear that, actually.
A lot of people, yeah. We got some good positive feedback on here. We have someone new in the chat right now. Barnaby. Hey, nice to meet you. That's over on YouTube. Let me switch back here real quick. What do you guys think about that story? That's a really cool story. I'm glad he was able to share that with us.
I think that's awesome. I haven't heard of a story like that. That touching, where your father left instruments
Yeah.
for you, and also some that are staying there. And it sounded like your father was pleased that you were picking it back up again.
Yeah.
So, and also side comment, wanted to know, excellent choice, Johnny Cash.
Absolutely.
It's some good music. I
Kate,
like Johnny Cash. My grandma got me into Johnny Cash.
Kate Noel says it's not easy to tune and tighten those strings. I have chills.
Yeah,
I
is
know.
not.
Leanne, glad you started to play again. That is so cool. All right, 1 second. Let's switch back over here. Now this is an interesting one. This comes from Samantha Downing. So, hi everyone. This is my first post and I am new to the group, so welcome Samantha. I took this picture at Fairfield Hills Hospital, an abandoned asylum in Newton, Connecticut, yes. I'm new to ghost hunting, and after the fact I remembered I should have taken 2 pictures at the same time, but I didn't. We'll work on that in the future. If you don't know, people, you take pictures, something happens in there, you want to be able to disprove that or prove that it was in fact paranormal.
Wait, so what do you mean? Like 2 pictures at the same time with 2 different cameras?
No. So like you take pictures in succession. So if there's something that shows up on the camera, you have another one that's immediately following it. So to make sure if it's not just a lens flare in that moment. So like here, if I take a picture, if I go around a room, I take one picture and then I take another one. If something shows up on one and not the other, that's weird. But if it shows up on both, it might not be paranormal. You know what I mean?
Okay, because it's repeating
Yeah.
the same circumstances you needed to take the picture.
Yeah.
I see.
I looked at this picture on my way home. I have no clue what the circled thing is. I don't know. There was nothing hanging from the webs, debris, etc. Let's take a look at this picture. We're looking at right here.
Now, to me, when I first saw this, the first thing I thought was something is stuck on the lens of the camera.
Yeah.
Because the depth, like, depth perception, how you can tell just by looking at that at the photo
Mm-hmm.
that the door is further in the foreground
Mhm.
or in the background than the front of the picture. That does not look like it is matching up with the depth of other objects in that area.
Yeah.
So I don't think that that's anything paranormal. And what is it if it is? Like, it just looks like a twiggy stick ghost if that's what it is.
What is it if it isn't paranormal though?
Something stuck on the camera lens.
You think there's a camera? I mean, it's pretty.
I mean, the multiple pictures thing, I totally understand what you mean by the multiple pictures thing now.
Yeah.
Or like if Samantha took multiple pictures back to back and that was in all of them, then she'd be like, huh, is there something with camera lens? Sure. I have no idea what that is if it's not just something stuck in a camera lens. Or a crack in the camera lens.
But then she would see it on all of her other photos too, right?
That's true.
It's just what does everyone think of? Like, what is this? I don't know. I can't say definitively or not if that is paranormal, but I mean, she went to a place that's supposedly haunted, right?
Right.
And she captured this. I just wish we would have had another photo, but sometimes you're not thinking clearly in these situations.
Right.
So.
That's an abandoned asylum.
Mm-hmm.
So we did something. We did cover that topic early on in our show, like way back in the first month of our show back in January, about like haunted asylums and abandoned asylums and stuff. So like it's not uncommon for paranormal activity to happen in asylums and stuff like that. But I don't know with this.
It almost looks like it's one of those like those SLS camera things, how like they have those stick figures in there. It's kind of like one of those came to life and went in this photo is what I can describe. That little stick figure came alive and went in this photo because that's kind of what they look like.
Leanne says, did something fall from the roof when she took the picture? That's possible. It doesn't look like it's in motion though. Does that look like it's in motion? Is that the most you can zoom in there?
Yeah, it's the most. Maybe like a tiny bit down here.
Yeah.
And the other stick figure part of it or something.
You would be able to see like the blurring of capturing it as it's falling, right? If it was in motion.
Yeah. What does Caitlin say? If
it looks like one of those eye floaters you get once in a while, honestly. What's an eye floater?
in your eyes and they float. But I mean,
Wait, like it's in your eyeball?
in your eyeball, yeah.
It just floats around
Like
in
these
your eyeball?
little squigglies that go in your eye.
Wait, like so it you so, wait,
Yeah,
hold on.
people
I've
see
never heard of
these.
this. Never heard of this. So it goes over your like the lens of your eyes.
Yeah.
So like it goes in your vision.
Yeah.
It's not like in the white of your eye.
No, like you can see it.
Just
Like
floating
these little
around.
floaties,
And it's
yeah.
an actual something in your eye.
Something.
It's not like you hallucinating something.
No. Usually, like when you rub your eyes and like really hard.
Oh! I saw that as I always thought of that as like sparklies.
Sparklies.
Like you know, you rub your eyes
Yeah.
really hard, and you open your eyes and you start seeing sparklies everywhere. I didn't know those are eye floaters. I just thought those were like, you know, I thought that was what with the saying of knocked her out or knocked him out so hard, so cold he was seeing stars. Or
Yeah.
something like that. That's what I pictured the seeing stars was like. Whoa, you're like
Whoa.
woozy, and you start seeing those stars.
I mean, but
Are they permanent? Can you get rid of them?
you think you should just come and go. But like, what was this other one? Yeah, there's nothing that Samantha girl. She didn't say there was nothing hanging from the windows, debris. I'm sure she probably would have said if something was
Are
falling.
there any comments on this one?
No, there's nothing. That's why I picked this one up because I was like, I saw this picture and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, there's nothing.
At least 1,000 people in the group have seen it,
Yeah,
and nobody has anything to say because we don't know what this is. I mean, like I said, to me, the most logical thing here is it doesn't match the depth perception of the other objects in the picture. So it looks like it's on the lens of the camera to me, or like on a window. If she's taking a picture through a window, but it doesn't look like she took a picture through a window.
it's a stick figure. It came to life
Yeah.
and it's here.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any other stories in the comments or in the chat right now? What's going on? Is anything paranormal happening, everyone, recently?
I have.
What?
I've had some weird stuff happening at home the last 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah. So my son has been consistently looking up
Uh-oh.
and then like being scared. And I don't know what it is. Like he won't let me change him on the changing pad anymore, on the changing table. And my wife thinks it's because he saw something, because when he's laying back and he sees up, he saw something and he's scared to be up there. He just doesn't want to be up there. He'll let me change him on the floor, but he won't let me change him on the changing pad. And so I'm chasing him around this morning, and last night we're playing in the living room, chasing each other around and stuff. And he just all of a sudden stops, and then he looks up,
Oh, no. No,
and
no.
he just stares at something, like follows it, like a cat.
Yeah.
And then he runs to me and buries his face in me, and it starts getting like whining. And I'm like, what is he seeing?
Didn't we talk about that when we get to like a certain age where we
Uh-huh.
we just lose that ability?
Uh-huh. Oh, and this other thing. So that's weird in itself. And I don't have a sense of anything being there. I don't pick up on anything. I don't see anything. I don't feel anything. The air's not cold. I mean, the air's cold because I have my AC on 24/7 because it's like
Same.
100 degrees here the past week or two. But it's not anything weird associated with it. It's just the act of him looking
Mm-hmm.
at it. And my cat does that too. But
Do they react at the same time?
no, I haven't seen that. Maybe my wife has, but I haven't. Usually it's just one or the other. The other, I just chalk it up to the cat being a portal guardian and keeping his eyes out for stuff for me. But with my son, that's more concerning because it's my son and he's
Yeah.
scared from it. Like, what is he seeing that he's scared of? But my wife has also said that she's been having weird experiences in the place for like almost a month now. But the most recently, we were just hanging out, watching some TV, and the air conditioner turned off without anybody pushing a button. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. Check the breaker. Check the breaker, nothing's tripped. Okay, that's weird. Let me go check the air conditioner. The plug has like a reset test on it, right? So I hit that. It didn't break. It didn't trip that. I'm like, okay, that's weird. I try to turn it back on. It's not turning on. I'm like, what the heck? I don't know. I guess the air conditioner's busted. Like, okay, well, I guess we got to get a new air conditioner. Then in the middle of the night, like it's like an hour or two later, we go to bed. We're laying down, and I unplugged it, plugged it back in, tried to turn it on, it wouldn't turn on. And I did completely unplug and plug it back in, so I should have broke the circuit of whatever is going on. Middle of the night, it just turns itself on, and it's just just being loud as shit, turning itself on.
What?
And my wife looks at me. She's like, "See, I told you, there's some ghosts in here." And I'm like, "I don't know if there are or aren't. I'm just not seeing it. This is the first weird thing that I've seen in here is this." And then her phone's been acting weird on top of it, where like it's not just not having service. Like she just said in weird, unexplicable ways, her phone's just been acting weird. I'm like, well, how old is it? Because like, you know, planned obsolescence. They'll push out an update to make your hardware obsolete, so you have to buy a new phone. It's not even that old. It's like a year old. So it's not like usually they do that in 2 years. So I don't know what that is. And there was a third thing that was associated with it. What was it? What else was it? My wife was just noticing like three. It was the AC, the phone, and something else in the same day. And I was just like, I don't think the three of those are related.
And it comes in threes.
But it is weird that it comes in threes. Yeah. So I don't know. We've been just having some weird stuff happen at home, and she's more. I'm not going to say she's more sensitive to it than I, because I mean I've had experiences and I've seen things too, but maybe lately she's more sensitive to it than I am.
You let me know if you want me to come over there and bring my gear.
Nah, Kat won't want that.
No,
she will not like that. Nope. She would be like, whatever this is, I want it to go away. I don't want you to invite more things. So,
remind me to tell you a story about my phone, but I want to check the comments real quick. Do tell. Okay, so Dolores says I have floaters, which is like cobwebs hanging in front of your eyes. Really weird. It does look like a stick figure.
Okay.
Sage, she's talking about you, Sage, Sage, your apartment. You could try that. Stick figure. Caitlin says, I feel like when you gain consciousness at like 4 or 5, you lose it. Like, do you remember anything before that age? Maybe bits and pieces, but nothing concrete. He's definitely seeing something.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I definitely think he's seeing something. I just don't know what it is. It's absolutely something to cause him to be afraid. So I don't think it's something good, but I'm not denying that he's seeing something. Like, I think he is. I just don't feel it. And I usually just pray about it. You know, I pray and I hope that he doesn't see anything anymore, because I can't confirm if he is or isn't.
Yeah.
But he's done that looking up and just like staring at something up there multiple times. Like that was the third time I saw him do it. And the first time that I've seen him like look up and get scared and like bury his face in my chest. But I don't know, man. Like I don't know. I say, leave my son alone. Get out of here.
As you should.
Don't touch him.
Bear flag. I'm here. I have no sound. My phone has no sound when I come down from the mountain. We just ran one of your stories in the beginning. You always miss your stories.
That's unfortunate.
Leanne says they like to play with electricity. Interesting. Yeah, they I mean, if they do communicate through EM, electromagnetic field or that spectrum. Caitlin, everything comes in threes. Yes, it does. Doesn't want you to feel it, so so she's thinking it's intentionally targeting.
Yeah,
him.
I know that's absolutely possible. That like some of these entities can reveal themselves to one person and not the others. So it's up to what they want to be seen as. I believe. I think who do they want to see them? Who do they want to reveal themselves to? Like that's even why like in people where they're experiencing like poltergeist activity, maybe when they're the only one in the room, weird stuff will happen. And when everybody else is in there, they're like, I swear this is just what happened. And I was like, no, you're going crazy, man. And the entity or the ghost or whatever it is won't mess with objects in the room while other people are there too. Because maybe they want that person to be looked at like they're crazy.
Yeah.
So... yeah, Barnaby comes in saying, sorry, I was trying to paste a story, but it won't work.
Yeah, YouTube is really weird about that.
Yeah.
Um,
They don't let you paste links either.
I want to tell you a story about the
Yeah,
phone.
Your phone.
So I was on an investigation, and I was stupid enough to say, this is what was really weird. It was in the exact moment I had my phone. I said, use the energy around me, use it from my phone. I shit you not, my phone did. I've never even seen a phone do this again. It turned all of these colors. It was like green, blue, purple, all this stuff. It didn't turn back on until like days later. I turned it back on. Everything was gone. Everything was gone. But it was at that exact moment where I was like, use the energy from my phone, and it did that.
Use the energy from my phone. All right, dude.
And I've never brought my phone with me again on an investigation.
Yeah, your phone's getting screwed, man. So did you like? Was that an older phone where you could like take the battery out?
I want to say so. Yeah. So I did everything.
You did.
Yeah, I did everything. I took everything out, but I've never seen, and I've never even seen that in anywhere. Like the way it went colors, it was like colors that I've never seen, like even on like a restart or anything. It was like blue, green, purple, all this stuff. I was
it
like,
rapidly flashing?
Yeah. I was like, what? I was like, what's going on?
It wasn't the blue screen of death. It was a rainbow screen of death.
And they took the end, and that was right before that this noise that me and my buddy heard.
Yeah.
We both heard it. We both looked at each other, confirmed that we heard it, and it didn't show up on recording. So it literally spoke to us, and we both heard it. We both looked at each other like, you heard that, right? Yeah. No, not recording.
That's crazy.
Barnaby, shapeshifter, someone I used to know, now retired, walked with a limp on his right leg whilst I was in a housing meeting with a housing association. He stared at me with chameleon Draco's shape. It's interesting. Okay.
Whoa. That sounds like some reptilian kind of stuff.
Reptilian shapeshifting. I'd like to hear more about that.
Leanne, I am worried because my son's reaction was to be scared. And my son is young. He's 14 months old. So, I mean, he's able to communicate with basic sounds and words, and he's walking around and having a good old time getting himself hurt climbing on stuff. But
yeah,
it still concerns me that he's seeing something. I thought, from my experiences, I thought I rid myself of this, and maybe it's something different. Maybe it's not. Maybe, the demon I saw decided to come back and generationally torment my son, which
maybe it's just every person has a different one.
I don't consent to. I'm my son's protector, so you have to go through me, MFer. But I don't know. I pray to God he's not seeing what I saw, because as a grown man I was terrified.
I think it might be situational. Like you were in that situation, so I mean, how did that even come about? Where it just happened to you, right?
For me?
Yeah. Like
I was inviting that stuff to happen.
So
I was dabbling with some occult stuff.
I don't know.
Yeah. What if my son's a Freemason?
What if he's a shapeshifter? No, that is a really cool, interesting thing, though. What do we got here? Barnaby says, shifter eyes, they were crystal clear, light blue irises taking up the whole eye, apart from like lizard-like. Slitted black pupils. The staring ceased after about 8 seconds. So that was like
the plane
incident. It's like, not me. That mother right there. I want to hear the rest of that story. Let's transition to our last pick. If you want, do you want to take over this one?
I got this one. All right. So, Alexandria Pearl Lund. I'm gonna say Lund. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name too bad. She shares with us this story. It looks like a photo. Okay, this happened like 2 or 3 years ago. I was watching my 2 little brothers for a bit. They were 4 and 5 at the time. While my father and stepmom were at the store, the way the house is upstairs. It was a tiny area with 4 doors, and from the living room, you could see 2 of them, my door and my father's office. I was in the kitchen where I could see my brothers in the living room, but not upstairs. Also, the only lights on were the upstairs and kitchen, so the rest of the house was dim. So it wasn't anything shadowy. I was in the kitchen and I hear my youngest brother go, "Hi, Daddy." So I asked him what he said, and he said he just saw Daddy walk into his office. I'm mildly freaking out, and my youngest brother starts laughing a bit, so I don't know if he was joking or not. So I told him they went to the store, and he was laughing a bit more. So I definitely thought he was joking. So I asked him what he looked like, and this kid goes, "Yeah, it had no face." What? Yeah, it had no face. Still don't know if he was joking or not, since my other brother didn't see anything. But he was playing a game on an old phone, and he never mentioned it again. Safe to say I was terrified going to bed that night. Here's a basic layout from the way it sounded. Whatever it was, either walked from my brother's room or the bathroom to the office. So that's about as big as we can make it.
For everyone, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the upstairs, I see.
I can zoom in and just go like
4
this.
doors. Okay. Bathroom, brother's room, her room, office. Down the stairs. Youngest brother, living room. The middle brother was there. Kitchen. Front door.
What?
Okay, I can kind of get that. So basically, Alexandria's younger brother saw what he thought was his father, but it wasn't. But I can't tell. Was the kid laughing the brother laughing the one that said it had no face? Or
my youngest brother starts laughing a bit, so I didn't know if he was joking or not. I hear my youngest brother go, "Hi, Daddy."
okay, it's the same brother.
Just saw Daddy walk in the office. Caitlin says Slender Man.
That's what I was thinking. Slender Man has no face. No face.
It's 100% Slender Man.
I've never heard of any other paranormal thing that doesn't have a face. Excuse me. Have you? I've never.
No, because even like the demons
Even
or whatever, they have
cryptids.
like the.
Even cryptids. I mean, like Hat Man, I've heard has a hat on that casts a shadow down on his face where like you can't see his face because it's like,
Yeah.
blocked, I guess. But Hat Man is also supposedly like, I've heard of 2 different types of Hat Man. One, basically the shadow figure thing, but it's wearing a hat. But the other was like a dude that was dressed in like old wild western garb with like the cowboy boots with the spurs on them. And this guy heard them coming up the stairs. Heard the spurs coming up the stairs when he was the only one in the house.
I think I remember this one.
And reaches the top flight of the stairs where he makes, he confirms he's seeing this thing. And it's just standing there, but he can't see the face. You can never see the face. But it's not faceless where you see the head and there's no face on the head. It's just, you can't see the face because it's the hat. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, casting a shadow, I guess. It's hard to explain, like, the hat casting a shadow on a shadow figure Hat Man.
Yeah.
Because it's already, so, like, shadow figures are described to be the blackest black that you can't even imagine how dark that black is. And how do you cast a shadow on something that's darker than darkness itself?
Can't.
Literally darker than darkness itself, because like people
Scary.
say, like, my room is dark, there's no lights on in it, there's no light coming in from outside, it's completely pitch black, and I still saw this thing.
I've seen that.
Darker than my room. Like, that's pure black.
A shadow in the shadows.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So what do you think about that one?
I don't know if I'd say Slender Man. I would definitely say that. I don't know.
I'm leaning more towards Slender Man, but I don't really think Slender Man's real. I think that's like a creepypasta.
I mean, if you are a ghost, I mean, like, if you're in that other realm, could you transform yourself into anything you want anyway?
I don't know. I've never heard that about ghosts. I've heard that about angels and demons.
Maybe it was a demon.
Maybe it was.
I mean, the kid's the one who saw it, right?
Yeah, but then the other kid was laughing. The brother was laughing.
Because he was possessed.
Yo, that's creepy.
Okay.
Oh, man. All right, let's finish up with Barnaby's little story here before we wrap up. Barnaby said the staring ceased after about 8 seconds, and then he from lizard-like slitted black pupils. The staring ceased after about 8 seconds. Then he changed his eyes back to their human form. I stared back, bemused and afraid. The housing association, he stared at me with... looks like there's just copy-paste mess-ups here. Okay.
I think he tried to put it in there because he tried to do it all at once.
Oh, I see.
Maybe it just went out of order.
Apologize for that. And Caitlin says, I'd say Uncanny Valley, but they have faces.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, that's going to bring us to the end of our 30-minute live stream tonight, folks. So if you liked what you heard, made it this far, why don't you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't yet, click that little bell, and don't forget to share your stories with us below and on future episodes.
and don't worry, the conversation doesn't end here. You can join us over on YouTube Friday, Saturday, and Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we'll discuss our next topic of the week, and it is another good one.
And if you're new here, check out our previous series where we attempt to unravel other mysteries. Make sure you don't forget to stay curious always and keep seeking the truth.
Thank you all for being here. Leanne, Caitlin, Barnaby, Kevin,
Sean.
I ever say Leanne?
Oh,
yes.
Don't forget about Sepulveda. I can't remember her first name.
Go back.
Phoebe.
And
Phoebe.
Dolores.
Phoebe and Dolores.
And everyone else who's tuning in, who
you,
are
everybody.
the silent majority, just the lurkers. We love the lurkers. We'll see you all live next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So keep the conversation going in the comments. Tag us in your posts for a chance to be featured, and stay tuned for more Beyond the Hub podcast. We'll see you soon.
Take care, everybody. Stay safe.